I want to talk about what it is to be female. I'm sick and tired of woman. Woman has got too much assertion in her. She knows too much. What I love now is female, because female is the finer part of woman. And because I love female, which is the closest part of woman to God, to the truth that she is, I'm going to describe what female is and how beautiful she is. And then I'll talk about woman and her assertion and what she thinks she knows. You see, my teaching's always moving on, never stops still. No good talking about the Dhammapada or the Vedas or something of 2,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago to me. They don't make any sense whatever. That's why they need some master to interpret them. You don't need to interpret what I'm saying. I am the interpretation of life, of truth. I'm right down to earth here with you. So now I'm giving you something new. To be a female. To be, no, not a female, because that would be to be a woman. But because a woman has an individuality. And female doesn't have any. Female's impersonal. And that's why female is so beautiful, so lovable, so wonderful. Because female, of course, is woman's unpredictability, which when a woman's unpredictable, oh my God, we get so confused. But when female's unpredictable, when she's female, it is so beautiful. Because you can't predict what she's going to do next moment, thank God. It's beautiful. But you can, because she'll always be true. Female is always true. True to what? True to love. Not true to herself. And not true to what she imagines herself to be as a woman. Not saying, I am woman, I am free. Female doesn't say that. Female is free. Beautiful, wonderful, glorious, she is. Unpredictable, and yet so wise when she is. You know, she just comes out of her. No good asking her to say anything because it just comes out of her. So straight from God, so straight from truth. Whereas woman has got a lot of conditioning. And you had to pass through being a woman, didn't you? You had to pass through being a woman, but are you female enough? Are you? And man, when are you going to wake up that what you love is the female in woman? But you can't really see her and you can't love her because you know too much too. You have so much conditioning. You waste so much of your time doing so much of the things that you do. You can't realize the female, the woman that you're with, the woman that you're with, you cannot realize the female that you're with. Because you're so busy and you know so much and you're so conditioning and you're always shopping around either with females or masters or something, always trying to find something to get something. And when you find a woman, you're always trying to get something from her. Whereas a female, you can't get anything from female because she gives it. You can't get it. She gives it just by her very presence, by her mystery, her wonderful mystery. Now, female can never ever have moods. As soon as she has a mood or she's emotional, she's a woman. And God help me, God save me from the woman. Although I've loved woman, and I do love woman, I don't love the emotion in her. I don't love the knowing of something in her. I don't love the lack of innocence in her, which is the knowing of something. And so in loving the woman, as I have loved woman, absolutely, and given my life to her, I now have realized the female. And that's a wonderful thing, isn't it? You come here and you hear something real from a living master, which nobody's ever uttered. Don't worry about that. None of your Eastern masters have ever uttered it. They're all too busy interpreting the Vedas or the Dhammapada or what Buddha said. And man, while you indulge yourself, you will never find a female. She'll never be there for you. Oh, she'll be there for you to be unpredictable in the woman, to say silly things, to do things that we don't understand. The female's always in every woman, but every woman is not a female. She has to give up. She has to give up so much. She has to give up all she knows. She has to give up all her suffering. She has to give up all her thinking. She has to give up all her wanting. She has to give up all her longing. All this damned longing of woman for a man is what pushes man away and makes him unholy. You can't want a man and you can't want a woman. I mean, you can, because the sexual thing, especially in man, not in so much in woman. Woman's got the notion from man. The sexual thing in man, that is, to fill up every womb in existence. Do you recognize yourself, man? You want to fill up every womb in existence. Well, that's natural to you, like the bull, like all the other males. Fill up every womb in existence and impregnate them, and then on your way. Hey, on your way. Don't stay around, because there's plenty in the paddock, and we're only animals with a spirit that's been put in us. But basically we are animalistic. We are animals with the power of self-consciousness, which is a terrible burden to be self-conscious. That means to be able to reflect on my terrible, rotten self and my silly, blooming life, in which I think I've done something important, so I reflect on what I've done, and I can hardly remember what I haven't done. And now I'm busy trying to undo what I've done. And everything I do to try to undo what I've done is another reaction that causes more unhappiness, more confusion in me. When are you going to wake up? When are you going to start to become truly spiritual? When are you going to come? You come to me for year after year. Well, you know, I can't judge your love of God. But I know that you come to me and you form concepts of what I talk about. Now, if you want to discover female, man, you got to love her. Now, the woman that you're with might not be capable of it. And you mightn't be capable of it, but I'll tell you how to do it. You got to go all the way. So I'm informed today, roughly, I haven't had time to read the letter, of someone who was with a woman for 26 years and she left him. Well, I reckon every woman who's been with a man for 26 years should have left him a long time ago. Because there's no life in the man. We men like women get fixed, structured, more than woman really. And we like to get up in the morning and have a read of the paper or a cup of tea. Would you like a cup of tea, love? Yes. So she brings the cup of tea into her every morning for 26 years, and then she goes and leaves me. Well, thank God. That's all I can say. And now the man says he doesn't trust woman. Did you ever hear of anything more disgraceful in your life? He trusts himself, though. You see how everything's back to front in the spiritual life. He trusts himself. He who did not love her enough. He trusts himself. So Now, he doesn't trust woman, but he'd like a new relationship. Well, there's man, you know, fiddling around you backwards and forwards, doesn't know what he is, doesn't know what to love, does not know how to love, because he has not come to me. He's wasted 26 years of his life, and I've been around since 1982. I understand before I came and uttered the truth about man and woman, nobody knew what to do. Nobody. All the Eastern masters couldn't tell them if they were practicing any tantric practices up in Tibet or anywhere. Never reveal it to the ordinary people that we're fucking each other, but really we're making love if that's Tantra. But you can't tell anyone. We've got to keep it secret, these Eastern masters, you know. Keep it secret. Nobody knows what we're up to. Well, that's not me. I'm Tantric Master, and everyone knows what I've been up to and what I'm up to. I am not an Eastern Master, and I've had no Eastern Master, and I'm not interested in any Eastern Master. I'm not interested in anything Eastern. I'm original. Do you understand? I'm original from the West. I come out of the deep psyche and the deep spirit which gave birth to the West, and I am like a savior of the West of love. I shan't be here that long. But man, are you going to, when you do meet another woman, are you going to love her, or are you going to choose what you want to love in her instead of going in all the way? And then another man could say to me, which has been said, well, I love her, but I don't like, when I look at her, I don't like, for instance, I don't like the look of her breasts, or I don't like the expression on her face sometimes. I don't like this and I don't like that, but I love her. And I say, you disgraceful fellow, you are a disgrace to love. You would make love with the woman's body, and then you would look at it and say, well, I don't like this and I don't like that. Well, go and leave her, and don't you ever make love to another woman while that disgraceful selfishness is in you, because you use her body. You do not know your own ignorance. If it's worth making love to a woman, it's worth going all the way. What have you got to lose, man, but yourself, your selfishness? What have you got to lose? You jump around, you jump from woman to woman because you never learned how to truly love, how to give every single thing until you were transparent. And that, of course, reveals the truth in man. Probably what I would call the male. But I'm not calling it the male because I haven't gone into that yet. That which comes from God, the male, not the man. The man knows something, all conditioned. He won't die for love. And you're not going to find a female unless you leave everything on the floor and rise up out of it. A true man, or the male principle, which is the God principle inside of you. So female, she's beautiful. She changes her clothes every couple of times a day. Or she likes to change her image, you see, because she doesn't want to be stuck like man so much. Man will change it out of pride, but she changes it out of, she can't help it. She doesn't like to have the same image all the time. So she's likely to change twice a day. But then she might not change twice a day. You know, she's unpredictable, so you better not put a condition on her. And then she'll go and she likes to do her hair, and she likes to look pretty. Well, she is so beautiful. She's the flower in this flaming desert, as far as we men are concerned. Well, why do you pursue her so much, man? Not just the flower, but she's the water in the desert. That's why you pursue her. But you pursue her for yourself, for your own selfish satisfaction. You don't pursue her for what she is. the beauty that she is. And if you don't see her beautiful, well, quit, get away, stop pursuing her. Who's going to speak to you like this? Your father, your grandfather, they're all in the same boat. They're all been misusing women and not loving her for generations and generations, including Napoleon and all the rest of them. And then everyone wants to find God. Oh, help me find God. And so they follow some religion, or they try to make a religion or something out of what I say, and you can't hold on to what I say because I got the female in me, because I love her, and I'm unpredictable, and I'm true, and yet I am male. But a woman, don't get smart and think that you're female just because you've got a few of the attributes that I've described, because you're not allowed, if you're a female, to have moods. You're not allowed to think. You're not allowed to want. You're not allowed to compete. You're not allowed, like woman does. You've got to be just what you are, a scintillating, shimmering thing that is beautiful in itself. It doesn't have to be a beautiful body. It doesn't have to be a beautiful face. It is absolutely scintillatingly beautiful. That is in woman, which I have called mystery. And you lose your mystery, woman, as soon as you get emotional. But why are you emotional, woman? Because the man you're with doesn't love you. Well, don't get emotional. Leave him. Or if you see something worthwhile in him, say, well, look, and you mustn't. If you love in him, you must not fall in love with him. It is disaster to fall in love with a man. He will misuse you. You can always say to him, without any emotion, well, I don't feel very comfortable with the way that you're treating me, so I think I'll leave you. And see what he says. You haven't left him yet, but you can say that to him. And he might change. But while he's possessed by sex and self-satisfaction, the chances of him changing are not great. But then, am I too new for everybody? Am I too new? Well, I'm always new. Yeah, that's what I'm here for. I'm not here for yesterday. All my yesterdays and everything is in my books and tapes. The whole story of it all is in my books and tapes, and you can read those when I'm gone, and you can read them when you're not with me. You can listen to them, read them. They will always inspire you because you've been with me. My living, beautiful living love of God and energy is in you once you've been with me. But then you're likely to go outside the door and get back home and then fall into your old habits, aren't you? A nice cup of tea in the morning, darling, yes, and I'll go and read the paper or something else. And grab her by the hand and say, come out to the table here and let's have a cup of tea together, or come and sit on my lap. I don't care if we've been married 26 years. You come and sit on my lap, and you can put your hand up her dress and you can say, ah, how lovely it is to hold you again, right? Yeah. Well, why not? It once was mystery to you. Why is the mystery gone? Because you've become conditioned and structured. And the woman's become settled into the being a woman until she comes to her senses, like the woman that left the man after 26 years. Well, I'd like all of you who have been with me for 10 years to leave me. Huh? And if you've been to another master, then I ask you to have the guts to leave me, to not come again into my presence. You go to the masters that you go and shop with. You go. Don't you dare come back to me. Have the guts to break it all up I don't care if you all leave me. What is left will be true. I'm not here for numbers. I'm here for the truth in people. Is life too boring for you to stay with my teaching? Well, how about the next woman you meet and that you're attracted to? How about going all the way? Then it won't be boring, I'll tell you that. But then, woman, if the man's going to go all the way, you just can't afford to be emotional. You have to be in charge of the situation, which means you have to be impersonal. You know, it's possible to love without person. The whole idea of human love is personal love. I love you. I trust you. That's personal love, is to trust someone. Did you know that? That's human love. It will end in disaster. Tears, broken hearts, slamming doors, all the rest of it. Human love is personal, wants to possess, wants to say, you are mine and mine alone. And that gives rise to jealousy, more broken hearts, more slamming doors. Personal love. Man can't help and woman can't help in this Western world to love personally. What I'm talking about is impersonal love. I'm talking about the love of God, and the love of God is impersonal, except that the stupid Christians make God personal in a man called Jesus. And if he lived, a wonderfully enlightened man if he ever lived, but certainly not God. But they can't help but personalize it, because you can have an image of Jesus, you know, from all the photographs. Nobody ever took a photograph of Jesus, did they? No. Silly Christians personalizing God, when God, I'll be describing what God is later, to endeavor to help you to understand this mighty mystery of what God or truth is. But we've got to start somewhere. We've got to start with the love between man and woman, because that's all you're interested in, really. Because what you love in woman is God, and what you love in man, finally, is God. So it's all about God anyway. Well, I'm passionate. I'm passionate in my love of God. I'm passionate in my love of you. I'm passionate in my love of truth. I don't have a dreary old life. I have a vital, passionate life, which most people have lost long, long ago, because you believe in yourself. Have I penetrated any of you, really? Or is your resistance up there making excuses for you and saying, I'm all right? He's a bit of a clown and all that, and he always talks like this. Do I? I'm looking for what's new in front of me. I'm not looking for people who've been with me for 10 years. I'm looking for the new in me, in the new in you. I can say everything over and over, and it's never the same, because I am new, and I can only talk to new people. But those who hang on to concepts of what some other master said, or what something else said, or what you think, I couldn't care less. While you're hanging on to other masters and your conditioning and what you believe in, you cannot hear me. I'm too new. But don't worry, it will catch up with you next time your heart is broken. which will happen next time the doors bang as someone walks out in anger. My truth will be inside you. Because you have not learnt how to love. You have not learnt how to be impersonal. I can't tell man to be impersonal because his sexual drive is impersonal, meaning selfish. But I can tell a woman to be impersonal because she doesn't have the same sexual drive that man has. He's put this longing for sex into her, but really she doesn't have a longing for sex. What she desires is love. So man's a problem because he's got the testosteronic drive. Testosteronic coming from testosterone, coming from testes, you know, the balls. The most unfortunate thing that ever happened to the world was for man to have balls. Then he gave women balls. From his own balls, he made her love sex and excitement with his balls. So now what he's got to do is learn to love instead of learn to love sex. Sex has got to turn to love, and then sex is pure, because sex is natural. Sex between man and woman is utterly and completely natural. But it's become a condition. And it's not a condition, it's a state. Sex between love and woman is a state of love. But then you've got my making love tapes, you've got all what I've said. In all my tapes I usually refer to everything. But today I speak about female for the first time, and for the first time on this earth has anyone ever told you about it in detail. Oh, we all know all the old ancients, they said this and they said that, and how we love to quote the ancients, how wise they were, Empedocles and the rest of them there, and how wise they were, and all the university is filled with very, very intelligent people. You can tell it from the photographs on the wall. They got the computers behind them, all the books behind them, they got the glasses on, they got the desk. And you can tell how intelligent the professors are, can't you? By their gowns. Yeah, that's how you tell how intelligent the professor is. By his gown. Some of them are red, yellow stripes, black. You know, only the black ones for the undergraduates or the graduates. But the professors, lovely, beautiful gowns, you know. Like the old ministers had to wear their collars back to front so that everybody would know they were holy. And so the professors do it so you'll know that they're intelligent. What a laugh. The most intelligent people in the world are in this universe. Unintelligent people are in this university. Doesn't matter how smart you are and how clever you are with 2 + 2 and Einstein's theory. Doesn't matter how smart you are with that, you're still not intelligent. Einstein wasn't intelligent at all. He just helped to put something stupid into our brains and make us study something that's not important, that just matters. And you know what matter is? Matter is pus that comes out of an infection, and it spreads everywhere, you know, and it matters and spreads everywhere. And that's what Einstein's theory's done, and spread into the scientific brain, and now the scientific brain is mattering, pussing all over the place. No truth in it. What I'm talking about is the truth between man and woman, because what's your daughter and your son? What are they going to be propelled into? What's every little girl going to happen to her? What's going to happen to the teenager? You know, the smile behind the teenager's, behind the teenager's smile of love, you know, that beautiful feeling, are the tears already waiting to be shed. Because man is going to punish you. Man is going to teach you that you cannot love or fall in love. He's going to teach you that. And he's going to use you and misuse you and create pain and unhappiness in your body, which will live in you until you give it up and start to love God more. But you've got to have your experience, like every woman in this room had her experience. Man misused every woman in this room and will continue to do so until woman starts to be what she is, impersonal. And man's a walking penis for so many women. And that also is a disgraceful thing. But that's where we are, isn't it? Because nobody's been telling us the truth of love and life and man and woman. Nobody. But I tell you the truth, that's all that matters. Have you heard me this day? Have I penetrated your armor plate, your resistance, your selfishness, which says, I'm all right, I'm intelligent, it's the others that are not intelligent, I'm intelligent. Well, as soon as you think you're intelligent, you're unintelligent. You're just settled back in your own resistance and self-love. You have to die for truth. You have to die to yourself for love. Everybody here is looking for some form of enlightenment, some form of realization of God or truth or love. Everybody here. But have you taken responsibility for it? Because you're responsible. There's only one eye in the universe. There's only one life in the universe, and that's yours. No other. But you've got to take responsibility for your life. That means for your love. That means for yourself, your stinking self, your unhappy, gloomy, moody self. You've got to take responsibility for the lot, not for a bit of it, and just go on enjoying yourself, pleasing yourself with your life, and then being spiritual when it occurs to you. How do you think I got the intelligence that I am? I got it by the grace of God which entered me, but I had to live it all the time. I couldn't take a holiday or a break away from it. I had to live it. I had to die for it. Day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. I had to die for it. You're not going to get anywhere until you die and die and die for yourself and your selfishness. You think you can retain some of yourself and your stupid notions of what love is and what truth is and what God is? No, you cannot. It all has to go into the fire of love or surrender. Okay then. I've said how it is. I always say how it is. I'm not attached to how it is. I say it, and I trust that some of you can hear me. And in the rest of this 8 days or whatever we've got ahead of us, I will endeavor to impart to you the dedication, the power to live more truly so that you can be more intelligent. and see into the other, or be the other, instead of being distracted and immersed and attached to this here, which is yourself. Now I'd like you to close your eyes, please. And using your pure intelligence, which is all you've got, which is what I am in that body when I say there's only one I in the universe, there's only one intelligence in the universe, and it is in that body listening to these words, not in the body next to you. So without any personal investment, you use your impersonal intelligence, which is your pure intelligence, to look into what appears to be your body, into it, to discover what's real in there in the first instance, and that is sensation, pure sensation. Now, if you are still unintelligent, you will relate to what is not pure sensation, what appears to be sensation, and that is the movement of emotion down there in your subconscious. That is not intelligent and is not pure sensation. It's a self-made sensation, is any emotional sensation. Right? I'm talking about the pure sensation made by God that's always been in your body since you were born. That's the only reality you have in your entire life, as well as your pure intelligence. All the rest is rubbish. All the rest is movement. So I'm asking you to be intelligent enough to focus that impersonal intelligence on that which never moves in the body, which is always vibrating in the body, called sensation. In every part of your body, in your hands particularly, that's where you can get it first, easily. In your face, there's a sensational vibration in the face. There's a sensational vibration in the legs, in the feet. Around the back of your body, there's a sensational vibration there. The chest is vibrating. And if we like to put it all together, we see, my God, my body begins with a vibration, a pure vibration of sensation. It's pure sensation. Now I can tell you that your body, with all its members, its arms and legs and all the rest of it, comes out of that pure sensation. So pure sensation is before the body. I'm telling you that anyway, even though you don't know it. So what is beyond my body in the first instance? Pure sensation. And how do I reach that? You have to use your pure intelligence, which has no imagination in it, no mind, no judgment, no interpretation. Just see what's there, which is the sensation. That's all. Now it's a wondrous boxes within boxes is this body. You've got a big box that has the whole world, and when you look into the whole world intelligently, you have to come down to the box in the whole world, which is your own body. Because nothing ever happens where your body is not. So the first box in the box of the world is your body. And then somebody intelligent like me comes along and says, now, there's a box inside that box of your body, and its name is pure sensation. See? Now get to it. And then I tell you what you've got. The only thing that you've got that's real is your pure intelligence. And only pure intelligence can focus on pure sensation. Now the next box in pure sensation is being. So what happens to the body? Well, the body disappears. The body disappears as an attachment. The sensation gradually disappears, the pure sensation, and there you go into the other box, the final box as far as most men and women are concerned, which is being. And the mind, if it came into play, and of course we can't use our mind here, but if it came into play, would say, well, there's nothing here. I don't know anything. And you see, your stupid mind never knew anything anyway, except what it had learnt. So it doesn't know anything that's true. It doesn't know anything about pure intelligence. It only knows about gowns and coloured gowns and graduations and certificates on the wall to say what you are, instead of being what you are. So universities turn out the same things all the time. Unintelligent people who battle in the world and compete in the world for what? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Except self-satisfaction. Now what we're doing is important. So you got the box in the box in the box in the box, have you? Now you can't get it much straighter than that. You go and read the Vedas and see if you can understand what they're talking about. You'll be very lucky if you can get 3 bits out of it, any good. But now you get it from me, the master of truth, the master of love, the master of life. I am master of myself, you see, and that entitles me to say all those things because I am God-inspired, because I am master of myself. I'm master of my life. I'm not dodging my life. I'm responsible for it, everything. So you got the box of the world. Just repeat it because it slips off the consciousness. The human mind is so active that it forgets everything. You got the box of the whole wide world, you know, with the television and all the past in it, and the whole box of it's there. And then if you were starting to be intelligent, you'd say, my God, my body's at the center of all this. And so you've found a box, a more real box. In the unreal box is your body. And then, if you're intelligent enough, you can focus on the next box in the body box, which is pure sensation. And then, if you're really intelligent, the body disappears, the pure sensation disappears, and the intelligent is then united with the state of being which you can't describe. It's just absence of interpretation, description. It's just what you are in the first instance. And the spiritual life is about going into that box and discovering what's inside that. And then what's inside that? And then what's inside that? And it is never-ending and everlasting, and it is glorious and it's wonderful because it's what I am in that body listening to these words. Rest in peace.